Hello and welcome to round 10 of the CTRA Sim Touring Car Cup. Today we're racing from the South City Sprint Track, and it's a 37 lap race. My name's Becky Rose. Joining me in the booth very soon will be Tristan Cliff. Tony Sleekman takes pole position in the FXO. That's our back market class car here today. Victor Sabo is in second position in the midfield class XRT, and Stuart Baker qualifies in third place. We haven't seen him up that high for quite a while. Patrick Galaski qualifies in ever consistent fourth position, with fifth place championship contender Hannu Pinola. What all went wrong for him last round. He's hoping for better fortune here today. Elaine Lang, ever improving, qualifies this round in sixth position, with Henry Virmaki in seventh. As we look further down the grid now, in eighth position we have David Horvath, who was a championship contender early on in the season, but he sort of slipped away from him as the season's gone on. Lacavigli does very well to get the WRC team car into the top 10, qualifying this round in ninth position. Sam Hopkinson qualifies in 10th place, is our second Brit in the field today. Teemu Vetnoja qualifies in 11th, another poor qualifying for Teemu. We saw him come right through the field last time out, and he's hoping to do the same again today. Chris Ramish had an accident in qualifying. He's all the way down in 12th. He's changed teams now as well. He's left the Morocco team and is driving in a UKCT black coloured car. Dustin Dawes is 13th. Dan Ashurst stands in for Jack Green in 14th on the grid.
Hello everybody, and the cars are already formed up on the grid, ready for the start.
First light, second light, the last lights are on, we're ready to go, and it's green. Pinola makes a fantastic start from the third row, muscles his way in between Galaski, and Baker has made an awful start. He's dropped down behind Lang and Virmaki, and Pinola's now alongside Galaski as we come into the second bend. Pinola is trying to hold off Galaski, and he's got on the inside and he's through. Pinola is through into third position, so a fantastic start from Hannu, and he's now on the tail of Tony Sleekman, our winner from the Blackwood race, if you may recall. And he's leading away is Victor Sabo, who's jumped Leekman at the start, and we're coming down the hill now, and it's Sabo in front, Leekman second, Pinola third, in fourth is Patrick Galaski. Fifth place behind him, I believe, is Alan Lang as they come round into the St Martin's chicane to complete the first lap. Back onto Museway, it's Sabo in front, and Pinola's making a look at Leekman now. It's coming up the inside into Webber's corner. Pinola takes the inside from Tony Sleekman and is through into second position. So we're back on, just like we were in Fern Bay a few weeks ago. Sabo is in front of Hannu Pinola, and midway down the pack we've also got another pass. Vetnoja has passed Sam Hopkinson. So the field at the moment: Sabo, Pinola, Leekman, Galaski, Lang, Virmaki, Baker, Horvath, Vetnoja, Hopkinson. That's the top 10. Outside the top 10 we've got Ramish, Ashurst, Dawes and Beagley. Sabo
and Pinola are already starting to pull away now from the rest of the pack. Leekman's.
This is Dawes making a move on Dan Ashurst down into the St Martin chicane. Dustin Dawes taking the inside line and trying to get past Ashurst, but he can't quite pull it off, and Ashurst keeps 12th position from Dustin Dawes. Just ahead of them, Hopkinson's made a small error, and that's allowed Chris Ramish through as Dawes and Ashurst continue to jostle over that position, with Beagley trying to get in on the action as well. Ashurst is quite close to Sam Hopkinson. He might be taking a run at him as we come down the back straight. Beagley, and here we're getting a replay here. This is from Tony Sleekman's car. We've got Hannu Pinola trying to move up the inside into the first turn, and that's a clean overtake, no defence from Tony Sleekman really, and Hannu was through into second position, and these two are now stretching out a lead from the rest of the pack. Sabo and Pinola first and second, just like they were at Fern Bay Green. We're going to get a repeat showdown. Let's see if Hannu Pinola can keep himself together this time and finish the race. That's Dustin Dawes off. Dustin Dawes has spun off as he comes down into the St Martin chicane. Dustin Dawes has lost it under braking, and well, he's going to find himself a long way back behind the field now.
Yeah, on such a short circuit it's going to be really difficult for him to catch up to the rest of the pack.
Absolutely. One of the things that's going to be interesting in this race, Tristan, as it settles on, is going to be tyres. Dustin Dawes is in the RB4, which is our dominant car today, and that's not too bad on the tyres, although some of the RB4 drivers weren't too happy about their tyres over the full race distance. The FXOs in particular, though, were finding their front rights were fading by about lap 15 as we rejoin the action. So this is a replay here of Justin Dawes under braking. He's got a windscreen full of Dan Ashurst, gets it sideways under braking, loses control, he's missed his braking point, and that's Dawes down to last position. Let's rejoin the action then. This is Sabo and Pinola, first and second, with 32 laps left to go. So there's a long race today, this afternoon, on a tight, twisty course with unforgiving walls. There's no opportunity for repairs if they damage their cars. If they break the car, they're out. There's no pit stopping here. It's not permitted. And this is Ramish taking a move on Horvath. No, it's Horvath dropping a place, 2 places. Looks like he's made a mistake as he came out onto the top of the hill. Horvath down 2 positions, so Vednoja and Ramish both gained positions. That's for 8th, 9th and 10th position.
Yeah, because of the short straights and tight corners, it's actually quite difficult to come up with an overtaking manoeuvre on your own. You've got to wait for a mistake from the driver in front.
Instant there, Lang and Biamaki contacting each other as they came into the turn 2. And it looks to me like Lang's come out better on that. Biamaki has dropped back behind Baker, so Biamaki was challenging Lang for the position. Made a dive up the inside. Lang contacted Biamaki and has ended up costing Biamaki 2 positions. So the Finnish driver there definitely losing out from what was a good piece of opportunistic driving. And Baker now has moved up the field and is in 6th position behind Alain Lang. And Biamaki getting it very sideways under the braking there for the St Martin chicane. He's not giving up, is he? He's trying to make another run back at Baker now as we come into the first turn. Biamaki all around the outside, and he's got to be careful because Vednoja...
No, Baker covered the inside line well there.
But Vednoja is trying to muscle in on that as well as we look at Sabo and Pinola. Stretched out quite a bit of a lead over the rest of the pack already, but there's absolutely nothing between them as we're looking at this 3-car tussle, and that's, contact there, that's David Horvath again getting it in the walls. Chris Ramish, lucky escape for him really, as the cars behind him all jostled over the scraps of the back of the pack there.
Going back to the tyre wear issue, or tyre temperature issue, the RB4 I would have thought would have been pretty good round here. Is it the rear-wheel drive XRT? Is that considered the sort of least hard on its tyres?
Absolutely, because Biamaki having a look at Baker there, because the XRT is rear-wheel drive and this track really punishes the front right tyre, the XRT is pretty much escaping any tyre degradation. It's still tough for him because it is a tough track, but it's the FXOs in particular that are suffering, and the RB4s to some extent, but it's really the FXOs who are really struggling badly here as we look at this battle. A huge battle here for 5th position as Baker trying to get one over on Lang, and he's got Biamaki right behind him as well. Ramish trying to get in on Hunt as well. So it's 4-car battle here over 5th position. And does that Biamaki clipping the wall on the exit there? He's lost a bit of momentum there, but it's not given Ramish an opportunity. Biamaki's having a look at the inside now on Baker. Baker covers, he's taking a narrower line than he would normally. Goes a little bit wide through the apex, but it's not enough for Biamaki to take the position, and they've maintained their status quo.
No, that's some excellent defensive driving from Baker, and you can't fault a lot of the drivers. They're doing a fantastic job around here.
Absolutely, these guys are the class of the world in this particular class of car. We do get a lot of top drivers come along and challenge these guys, thinking it all looks so easy, and it actually isn't. These guys are seriously good. Even our backmarkers here will typically win races against all comers, and these guys really are amongst the best in the world. There are other good drivers, of course. We don't have all the good drivers in the SDCC, but we do have a selection of very good drivers indeed. As Pinola is very close to Victor Sabo now as we come downhill, and there's been an incident. That's Vednoja and Horvath have had another coming together. These two have really been at each other all this race. Both of them ending up there on the yellow flag. Beagley's trying to muscle in on the action. That's Vednoja. She's got Horvath as his inside. Vednoja having to go quite wide as they came around the top of the hill. Horvath trying to muscle in down the inside, but he's not got the momentum as he is starting to drop back. Beagley trying to muscle in on that action as well. Beagley had a bit of a bad start, went down to 14th place, but has worked his way back up, and is trying to get in on the action of these two who've been banging doors with each other for several laps now. So we're getting a replay here to see what happened. And Horvath was a little bit cheeky there, wasn't he? Came in a little bit too hot.
A little bit.
Let's rejoin the action then. Sabo and Pinola still nose to tail at the front of the pack. It just looks to me, as they come down the hill, like Sabo just has the straight line speed on Pinola.
Well, I was about to say actually that Pinola looks as though he's got the pace, but he's not looking for the pass. He's letting Sabo dictate the pace of the race and define how fast they're going and how much they're pushing the tyres, and he's just sitting there conserving his tyres.
Through this section here, it's Pinola who I think has the advantage. But as they come down the hill, Sabo seems to pull away. So look, Pinola's very close here. They've got an overtaking opportunity at the bottom of the hill. But as they get to the bottom, Sabo's pulled out a gap every time, even though Pinola's in the slipstream. So it looks like Sabo just has the straight line speed over Pinola. So his best bet is going to be to take him into turn 1, Abbott Corner. But he just doesn't look good enough out of this corner here, St. Martin's. We come down Museway and into Abbott's Corner, and this is where Pinola's going to make the move, but he's just not quick enough out of St. Martin's.
It's a tricky one, that last corner, because the braking zone is you actually have to take an apex. Sorry,
this is Ashurst making a move on Horvath as they come down the hill. Ashurst has got ahead of David Horvath. Ashurst, who was behind Beagley just a few corners ago. In fact, Horvath is ending up behind Beagley as well. So he's slipped down the field a little bit there. As Horvath manages to retain the position from Dan Ashurst, standing in, of course, today for Jack Green, who's off with an injured foot. Horvath has dropped back from Vednoja, who he was battling with in 10th position. He's now in 12th, Beagley up to 11th.
If we had more time, I'd love to go into Jack Green's injured foot and try and work out how that happened.
Hopefully if we get a chance later we'll cover that story in more depth. So look at this Pinola right up the back of Sabo through the Tristy section, but you can't overtake here, and he's got to try and line him up for a run down the hill. If Sabo gets a poor exit from this corner, Pinola will have him, but it looks to me like Sabo's got him under control, and Pinola just doesn't seem to have the raw speed in the straight line to get ahead of Victor Sabo.
As they come down here, you can just see them just clip the apex there as they're braking, go out wide, and then clip a second apex, and that's what makes overtaking at that corner particularly difficult.
Looks like we've had
because the inside line is really compromised, and the outside line is obviously the long way around.
Absolutely, looks like Baker's had a little incident trying to get ahead of Lang, but has maintained position. Lang is still in 5th, Baker 6th, Ramish is in 7th, and Viamaki in 8th place. So these guys still duking it out, but no major changes there just yet. And that's Vednoja getting ahead of Hopkinson. Yeah, indeed, Hopkinson was in 9th, Vednoja was in 10th, but they've swapped around coming out of the St. Martin chicane. Hopkinson has obviously got quite a poor drive. Looking at the front right of Hopkinson's car, it looks to me like he's got a little bit of damage there, so I think he must have made a mistake going through the St. Martin chicane. And Vednoja now takes 9th place. Had a fantastic drive last round at Fernbay Green, started well down the field, and finished, I can't remember now if it was 3rd or 4th. He flew through the field throughout the race. And here we've got an incident here. This is Ashurst passing Dustin Dawes, or vice versa. Dustin Dawes has been trying to close the pack down and get back into this race after his earlier spin, and is now right with Dan Ashurst and fighting for the position as they come into the St. Martin's. And it looks to me like Ashurst is pushing it a bit there. The car was bouncing around. It's such a bumpy piece of track there. Dawes looked like he was much more composed the RB4, handling that corner much better. It is a very difficult braking zone, but you can pass there, and you can pass also into Abbott Corner, which is the first turn on the track.
I'd love to be able to say at this stage that it's all settled down and we've got a nice simple race and we're just waiting for the results, but as is the nature of a street circuit with no runoff areas and such a short track as well, we've got probably, what, 5-6 races going on simultaneously here with different people?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so hard to pass here that we are getting little mini queues of cars forming. And this is Dawes having a look at Ashurst now as we go into the first turn. Dawes is neatly through, isn't he? Ashurst absolutely no defence, but he's fighting back. He's trying to switch back in as they come into the second bend. Dawes is maintaining the inside line.
Now he's got to go around the outside.
Indeed, Ashurst goes right round the outside, and contact between them, and he's off. Ashurst has been spun round. Dawes kept his nose in, and Ashurst has been spun around, and they're both now causing yellow flag. The lead's that's Hopkinson off. Hopkinson off coming down the hill. Sam Hopkinson has hit the wall by the hotel, and it looks to me like he was still parked head first into that wall. He's still showing us under yellow flag. We'll get more news on that as we can. So Dawes and Ashurst had, here we go, Dawes keeping his nose in when really he should have given it up by that point there, and that's what's caused Ashurst to spin. And then the leaders coming through to lap them. So Sabo and Pinola having to contend with that in addition to their own battle. We've got safety car here. Safety car board is up. There is in fact the Logitech LX6 South City safety car, and so well that's Chase Race. This must be for some. In fact, you can still see that is Sam Hopkinson by the side of the road there. So Hopkinson is retired from the race. We're under safety car here. We've got 18 laps to go at the South City Sprint.
I think Hopkinson, didn't he damage his car within, in the first 3 laps or something like that on the exit of the last corner?
He did a few laps ago.
And he was slipping back ever since.
It was I didn't see it at the start of the race myself, but certainly a few laps ago I saw damage on him when Bednoya passed him. The interesting thing here, look, 3rd and 4th in the train is Dawes and Ashurst, but we've got Sam Hopkinson here. We'll have a word with him.
Sam crashed on the downhill. What happened?
I crashed on the downhill. Yeah, I may have briefly glanced at the gauges, perhaps, and taken my eyes off the road and caught a tyre, perhaps, like a baby.
So did you roll it?
Yes, yes.
We're still waiting for the replay of it, so...
yes, I've made a proper mess of it, actually. Yes, very, very embarrassing. Yes. Yes, hit the wall, hit the barrier, rolled, proper mess, and reached the barrier. It's very embarrassing.
Okay, thank you for talking to us, Sam.
Well, slightly embarrassing error for Sam. Here is a replay of that incident. And in fact he's already out of control by the time that camera catches him. We'll see if we can get a better angle on that. This is a good opportunity actually for the FXO drivers to cool their tyres, because this is bang on the half distance mark. In fact, you can just see there that Golaski is weaving around, but he's in a rear-wheel drive XRT car. The front-wheel drive cars of Leigman, Baker, Beagley and Ashurst. This is their opportunity to cool the tyres down, because this is the exact point in the race when the tyres were going to start to melt. But the other thing about this track, of course, is it's so harsh to concentrate for a half an hour race around this track when you've got the wall so close. It's so twisty. This is Sam's accident, which he says he lapsed in concentration.
Yeah, I just wonder how he managed to clip the inside of the apex there, really. That's really quite a peculiar driver error, even with a lapse of concentration and looking at your dials.
Well, it is, but then if he's not looking where he's going, you can you'd see how he's managed to do it. But yeah, that's just because it is such a mentally grueling event. Obviously the drivers have already been driving for the best part of an hour or so in the heat races, and then come on into the feature race. They've got to keep their concentration for another half an hour solid with all the pressure of a major event on them. We're going green this time. Let's ride with Hannu Pinola for the restart and see how the Finnish driver handles restarting after a safety car. Nudging up as close as he can to Victor Sabo. What's going to happen? The safety car's going to pull off, and Sabo's in control of the pace once they come out of this corner. They cannot overtake until the line, and Pinola makes he's made a good run actually, but he's gone too soon and he's had to back off before the start-finish line, so Sabo keeps the lead. Pinola almost got the drop on the Hungarian there, but went slightly too soon and had to come off the throttle as we ride with Hannu Pinola. So close to Sabo, it's clipped the wall on one side, misses it with the other as they come up the hill, and Leigman is through into third position. He's got past the back markers already, but it's given these two a little bit of an opportunity to pull out as Pinola looks for the inside, he looks to the outside, and as to come down the hill he's had to tuck back into the slipstream. Sabo has it covered, and there's no way for Pinola to go through this time. Oh, big battle here as they come down the hill as the pack try to sort themselves out after the restart. This is Chris Ramish in the centre of your frame. We've got Baker, Bednoya, Ramish, Biamaki, and as Dustin Dawes is off. Dustin Dawes has gone off at the St Martin chicane. And that's Dan Ashurst you're looking at there, trying to get out of the way for these cars to all filter through. So the two back markers doing what they can to keep out of the way, but it's not gone smoothly as Ramish and Biamaki getting it very in with each other there, and Horvath is trying to muscle in on the action as well. Beagley trying to get up the inside of Horvath, but it's not come up for him yet, but Horvath moving up the inside of Biamaki. And it looks like it's through, but no, he hasn't kept the momentum coming out of the top corner. And as they come down the hill, Bill Mackey maintains his ninth position from David Horvath.
Yeah, he took too tight a line over the crest of the hill and compromised his speed down the straight. But when you're running in such a tight pack, what can you do? I'd quite like to get a replay of Dustin Dawes' little accident at the start, or not quite at the start, the next lap round, because it looks as though he'd just run very wide, jumped on the brakes and stopped before he hit the barrier.
Now we'll see if we can get a replay of that one, as we're looking at the two leaders, Sabo and Pinola, stretching away from Tonys Liegman in third position. And even now that we've gone green, they are pulling away from Tonys. He doesn't seem to have an answer for these two. I wonder if he's just driving conservatively to look after his tyres, and whether he has got the pace there if he needs it, or whether these two just have him on pace outright. And this is a replay at the start. This is Lang taking Galaski for fourth position. So Lane Lang has moved up to fourth place, and this is how he did it. Galaski bolted by the two back markers in front of him. There's not a lot they could do to get out of the way in that series of corners, and that gave Lang the opportunity to take fourth position. So the Luxembourger now just on the outside of the podium. Look at the two leaders again. Sabo just has it down the straights, but Pinola's looking very leery through the St Martin chicane, isn't he? He's putting it very sideways.
He's closing up a huge gap under braking. If he can keep closer on the back straight, then he could possibly just about squeeze down the inside, maybe.
That has been Pinola's problem, getting close enough down that straight. He gets into the toe of Sabo, but it just doesn't seem to have the engine power or the gearing or something. Here is the last corner of now as they come down the straight.
That time.
Sabo just seems to have the power anyway in a straight line, and I think Pinola's got to start looking in the first turn rather than looking for the opportunity here.
Right on his tail, he's got to get a good exit out of here.
Are we going to see him move here? And he's not quite close enough for the first turn, but if he gains a little through here, will he make a move in turn two? But again, no, not close enough. And this is that replay for you of Dustin Dawes. It was under blue flag, flips the ball when he decides he's not going to rejoin through that knot, and only Dustin could take out the tie when he goes back for more of them. Only Dustin would do that. He's still battling with Dan Ashurst, of course, so those two, even though they're a lap down, they've still got to fight with each other to resolve.
Got a lot of
looks like Dustin's got
bodywork damage there,
at the moment. So at the moment, Dustin Dawes in 12th position, Dan Ashurst 13th. Dan's looking very lively behind Dustin at the moment, isn't he? So we look at the battle of the back markers. Oh, Dan's just clipped the wall, so that's blown it. Dustin will drive away from him now. So back with the leaders then. Pinola, Sabo, second and first. Can Pinola close down Sabo? We've got 9 laps left to go here, and I don't think Pinola could do it. He just doesn't seem to have enough in him to challenge Victor Sabo. They do say once you win a race, then winning comes easy, and of course Sabo won last time out at Fernbay Green. Pinola, of course, has won a few races already. He won the Round 2 race. He won again in I can't remember. I can't remember all of his wins. He has had a few. He's had 2 or 3 now.
He's actually starting to drop back a little bit. But a few laps ago, I thought he was taking some imaginative lines and just showing himself in the mirrors just to try and distract. But he's actually dropped back half a second or so, hasn't he?
He has. He might just be giving his tyres a break, and then, in lieu of making another run. Because it is a tough race on tyres, even for the RB4. It's the front right that gets pounded really hard here, and that is a drive wheel on the RB4. Maybe he just feels he needs to cool the tyres off a bit and then make another go in the last few laps.
Could be. He's still just a little bit leery.
The order then. Sabo lead. Well, he seems to be quite leery through the St Martin chicane every lap. I think that's just the way he takes that corner. But he's not hounding Sabo through the twisty stuff, and that's what he was doing earlier. In fact, he's dropped out even more from Victor Sabo, actually. It looks to me like Sabo's just pulling away on sheer pace. With 7 laps to go then. Sabo leads. Hanning Pinola is in second. Thomas Liegman is in third. And then Lang is in fourth. And, saying that, Galaski is just making a move on him right now as we come down the hill. Patrick Galaski is right in the slipstream of Alain Lang for fourth position. And let's see if he can do him as we come into the 6 laps here to go at the South City track. We're racing in the CTRA Sim Touring Car Cup. Alain Lang is in fourth position and is trying to head off. Patrick Galaski is going for a move on the inside into Abba corner. There's not enough room for him there, but he's having another look. Lang goes very defensive as we come for another battle here just behind them. Ramish and Biamaki fighting over Ray's position. Biamaki's got him, going down into the Logitech corners. Ramish fights back. And in fact Ramish has kept it for now, but Biamaki having another go. It keeps the inside line as they come down the back straight. Ramish clips the wall. That's going to give Biamaki the momentum as they come down the drag into the St. Martin chicane. But Ramish is the one who gets more power down and has kept the position for now. 8th position then goes to Chris Ramish for now. We've got 5 laps here left to go. The STCC always livens up at the end of the race, so you can be sure we're going to have a bit of a showdown in these last 5 laps. We've got Tvigli showing us under yellow flag. There he is at the Logitech corners, just rejoining, and rejoins into the path of Lang and Galaski. It's a little bit naughty, and we're trying to come out, and Galaski's got Lang. Galaski goes round the outside of Alain Lang. Baker's now having a move on Lang as well. Lang's new 5th position is under threat from Stuart Baker. He looks like he's managing to hold him off as Bednoja's trying to move in onto Baker. Bednoja going round the outside of Stuart Baker as they come down into the St. Martin chicane. He's done him. Bednoja goes around Baker and takes 6th position. So again, Bednoja moving his way steadily up the field throughout the race. He started up right near the back and is now up into 6th position and is now going to set about trying to take Alain Lang. And he's doing him up the inside. Bednoja is going for the inside line. We're looking at Vigli, who's gone off the track again. It looks like his front wheel's got a few problems there. This is a replay of Vigli. Looks his front's just got no traction at all, has it?
Pretty hard, hasn't he?
He's actually just pulled off there to that. He was under blue flag and he just pulled off. But look at the smoke coming out the front of that car whenever that front tyre moves. He's got some serious temperature problems at the front, and that was terrible.
Confusingly, he sits there and waits, doesn't he? He waits for a gap. There is a gap, he doesn't go, and when he does go, this car's coming. And that's what gives Galaski the opportunity to take 4th. And Ramish and Biamaki side by side again. Ramish taking the inside line. Bednoja has got ahead of Lang's down in 7th. Bednoja has moved to 5th. Baker is in 6th. Lang is now in 7th with Chris Ramish all over the back of him. So come down the hill. Ramish is going to take a look down the inside of Lang. Lang covers the line too quickly there. No opportunities for him. As Biamaki tucks in behind Chris Ramish. Going to look for the opportunity, and that's Biamaki retiring. He's pulled out of the race, so Vigli, and that's Teemu Bednoja has gone off. That's down at the St. Martin chicane. Teemu Bednoja has dropped 4 places down to 9th with 2 laps left to go here. This huge scrap here in the midfield then. So Baker is now in 5th. We've got Ramish in 6th. He's just got ahead of Lang, and Biamaki there holding on in 8th position, trying to muscle in on the action. So Ramish has got ahead of Lang. Teemu Bednoja, we don't quite know what happened to him. We cut to him just as he was spinning off there at the St. Martin chicane, and he has dropped down to 9th place. Sabo still leads. Pinola is 2nd. Liegman is 3rd. Galaski's moved up to 4th. So Baker is leading this pack in 5th position. Ramish is now up to 6th. Lang and Biamaki fighting over 7th place. It's all starting to get very scruffy now, isn't it? Everyone's making little mistakes, compromising each other, so there's lots of passing and nobody's pulling away, and can't keep up with it almost.
Yeah, it has got a bit hectic with these last couple of laps as we're looking at Biamaki trying to put one on Lang. This is a replay here. We've got Dan Ashas moving slowly under blue flag. It just let one of the ART cars through, and then Teemu Bednoja comes round at full speed and slams into slow moving Dan Ashas. So not really Dan's fault there. Well, we're on the last lap here. Galaski is having a look at Thomas Liegman for 3rd position. Galaski has moved his way up through the field after losing out on the safety car and is now trying to come back at him. But as we look at Victor Sabo then, he's pulled out a gap over Hannu Pinola. He's just got a few more corners to go, and the Hungarian will take his second STCC feature race victory. Victor Sabo will be P1.
Braking, last corner, 2 apexes, 1 apex.
And that's it. Victor Sabo takes his second victory in the STCC. Hanno Pinola is second. Behind him, though, battle still rages as
Three
Magnolia
cars.
has had an incident with Horvath. Viermaki's gone up as well. Dustin Dawes comes around the corner to find David Horvath sideways across the track. So 4 cars there and in the end involved in that incident.
I don't think it's over yet though. They've all got damage now. There's still a chance that there's still 3 cars battling here ultimately.
Viermaki's going for the inside on Horvath as they go into the St. Martin's. Viermaki takes the inside line, and he's going to take 9th place from David Horvath on the last corner.
That's Dustin Dawes.
Gone off on the last corner. So let's take a recap. Sabo's first, Pinola second, Liegman third, Galaski fourth, Baker is fifth, Ramish sixth, Lang seventh, Magnolia is in 8th at the end, Viermaki in 9th, Horvath is 10th, and then it's going to be Dustin Dawes and Dan Ashurst in 11th and 12th. Retirements we had Beagley and Sam Hopkinson. So there you have it. That's the STCC from the South City Sprint. Who's your driver of the race, Tristan?
To be quite honest, actually, I think it was Baker. He had a terrible start, lost so many places, and despite the mid-pack being hectic, lap after lap of just non-stop action, he kept it all together and managed to get back to 5th. And I think that was pretty good driving and very, very well controlled.
Yeah, that was good going. For me, I think I'm going to go for Patrick Galaski because he drove quite well throughout, didn't make any mistakes, did put a move on Alain Lang and to seize an opportunity and retake 4th position. And very, very solid race with no errors, and getting that move on Lang in the heat of the moment I thought was an excellent move. So for me, Patrick Galaski on this round.